Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Health Unfiltered. If you were with us here just a couple minutes ago, well, 30 minutes ago, the whole webinar was muted. So, second time's a charm. We are back and we are ready to do this again. So, as always, if there are any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Today, I'm going to be covering blood sugar. This is just a very basic overview and general explanation of what blood sugar is, why blood sugar control is important, and why I think it is at the forefront of metabolic health for you to know how to control your blood sugar to meet your individualized goals. So without further ado, let's get started. I have a little presentation for you. So let's pull that up here. And like I said, today I just want to talk to you about blood sugar and why I think it's so important, even if you're not a diabetic. I believe that in order to reach your physical goals, your mental goals, you need to know how to do it, but you need to know what to do, and more importantly, you need to know why you're doing it. Most of us follow a plan, a meal plan, or maybe a diet, and we have no idea why it is or isn't working. And that's because we don't know what's going on in our body. So that's what we're really going to highlight today. I want you to know how your body reacts to certain foods, how blood sugar works, a general overview, so that you can tailor your nutrition to meet whatever your individualized goals are, whether that's weight loss, weight gain, maintenance, putting on muscle. You should be able to tailor your nutrition, or at least know a little bit of what's going on. If maybe you're working with a professional and they do give you a plan, why are you following this plan? So that's what we're going to highlight here today. Skipping ahead of myself here. So, the first slide. First and foremost, during today's session, well, before we start today's session, I want you to learn what blood sugar is, and I'm skipping over myself. Before we get started, I want you to ask yourself some questions. Maybe you don't know what blood sugar is. And if you don't know the answer to these, it's more than okay. But by the end of this webinar, you definitely should. So we're going to learn about what affects our blood sugar, both negatively and positively. How does blood sugar affect fat loss and weight gain? And is blood sugar control just for people with diabetes? And as I mentioned before, it is not just for people with diabetes. Blood sugar control is at the forefront of metabolic health. So ask yourself these questions, see if you know the answer, and see if your answer changes by the end of this webinar. So in today's lesson, we are going to learn about blood sugar and how it works in our body, how the different macronutrients affect blood sugar, how to keep blood sugar steady, and last but certainly not least, why blood sugar control is at the utmost importance when it comes to reaching your goals, both mentally and physically. Here we go. So this is a basic balance. When it comes to blood sugar, we have two main hormones that are kind of involved. We have insulin. We're going to call this our fat storing hormone, and I'll explain why just here in a second. And then we have glucagon, and that is going to be our fat burning hormone. And I have them on a balance here because that's exactly what they do. When blood sugar is high, the pancreas releases insulin to shuttle it into the muscle cell, and unfortunately, these are fairly small. So when they get full, if there's excess insulin floating around and there's not enough to be taken into the muscle, this is going to get stored as fat. So how do we produce this fat burning hormone, glucagon? In the absence of insulin, so when blood sugar is low or when it is balanced, glucagon is going to be released. And this is our fat burning hormone. This is where all of the magic happens. And no, you don't need to be fasted to release this hormone. So I'm gonna come over here, and this is just a very basic kind of breakdown of what food does and how I kind of categorize it on both sides. Again, very, very generalized. But here you see when we eat naked carbs, so the first thing on here, let's say bread, banana, candy, all fun stuff. And by no means am I demonizing this at all. I'm just using this for the sake of the example and to get this across clear. So we eat naked carbs, our blood sugar spikes. Blood sugar spikes, pancreas releases insulin. Insulin is our fat storing hormone. So let's say our muscle stores are full. The excess sugar stores are going to be stored as fat. On the opposite end of the spectrum, how do we get our body to produce glucagon? So like I said, in the absence of insulin, so when blood sugar is lower balanced, so you see here I have PHFF. If you're not one of my clients, you probably have no idea what that means, but PHFF stands for protein, healthy fat, and fiber. So your basic balanced meal. When you have a basic balanced meal, you have steady blood sugar. Steady blood sugar, your pancreas releases glucagon. Glucagon is the fat-burning hormone, and now your body's in fat-burning mode. And I know this seems like, oh my gosh, this is so simple, but it really is. When you understand your body, it really is that simple. So back to naked carbs. When we eat them, our blood sugar spikes, which is not a bad thing. It's why type 1 diabetics need excess or exogenous insulin, because their pancreas doesn't produce this and it doesn't release it. And this is a necessary bodily function that we need to survive. So when do we want this to happen? Because it's not a bad thing. We just don't want to be walking around all day with our blood sugar spiked and be like, full of this excess insulin. But before a workout would be a great, great, great time to, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze, to have something that's gonna spike our blood sugar. Whether that is a banana, pretzels, maybe it's 8 ounces of Gatorade. Okay. But before a workout is a great time for you to have those naked carbs. And we'll go back to this in a second here, but that's when you're going to want to spike the blood sugar so that your muscles can take that in. And when we're working those muscles, it's using those stores. So yes, if we have a little excess right before a workout, the muscles are going to uptake those. So let's move on to the next slide. Now, I love these infographics, and this is what was on the first page, because I think it does a really good job of explaining what's going on. So let's take a look at how the different macronutrients affect blood sugar individually and together. So you can see this top chart here. You see carbs alone, that gives us our biggest spike and the fastest drop. Then we have protein and fat, which give very, very, very minimal rise. And you could that it's over a long period of time. So let's go down here to the other side and look at how balanced meals affect your blood sugar. So you can see here that we have, what does it say? Carbs without peanut butter. So again, let's go back to the banana or the piece of toast or what's another, plain oatmeal, because I give this as an example later. Plain oatmeal. You're going to get a very, very steep spike and a very, very steep decline. Now, compared to PHFF snack or meal, again, balanced protein, healthy fat, and fiber, you're going to get this steady rise and steady decline. So you can see that carbs by themselves come up really fast and decline very fast. And then when paired with fats and fiber and protein, you're going to get a more steady rise and steady decline. So that's going to promote the release of glucagon, which again is going to put us in fat burning mode. Now, welcome to blood sugar roller coaster. This, whether or not you were familiar with it or not, is something that most of us have ridden many a times. The blood sugar roller coaster is not fun, and it's what I want to help you avoid. This is one of the main reasons why I see my clients not being able to hit their goals. Not because, they're eating too much, or not because they're eating, or maybe they're under eating, but it all boils down to steady and unsteady blood sugar. So let's talk about it. For the sake of this example, you wake up in the morning and let's say there's absolutely no workout involved. Today, you are jam-packed with meetings. You don't even know when you're going to be able to get your next meal in. So you wake up, you're not that hungry, but like I said, you don't know when you're going to be able to get your next meal in. So you grab the quickest thing available, which is a banana or a bagel. You eat it and you head out the door. Your blood sugar spikes, insulin is released. 30 minutes to an hour later, it crashes. Now, here we are, back at the top of the roller coaster, and now you have increased carb and sugar cravings. And this is not because you lack discipline. This is not because you lack willpower. It is none of that. This is what happens in your body. So I hope you can start to see how this is all connected, and you can kind of bring it back to other diets or other things that you've tried in the past and see why maybe they weren't working for you long term. Does this sound familiar? It's happened to us at least once. And this is why it's so important for your first meal of the day to be balanced. If not, you're literally putting yourself in a compromised position for the rest of the day. And let me use this example, the same example, but this time we'll be getting a workout in. So let's say it's your day off. You wake up and you run out the door and you're about to go get a workout in. You're not that hungry. You grab a banana. Insulin is released. Your blood sugar, pancreas releases insulin. Blood sugar comes up. We start working out, building those muscles. Muscles uptakes the glucose, brings it down, and there's no, craving or anything like that. After your workout, you're going to want to get in a balanced meal. Make sure you have carbs to refill those glycogen stores if there's no more excess, glucose. And there you are. You are on your track to success for the day. So we really like to know how our body works so that we can tailor our nutrition to fit our goals. Maybe you're doing it the opposite way. Maybe your blood sugar is too balanced, and before a workout, you're not giving yourself enough of that spike. Like maybe before your workout, you're having 2 eggs, toast with peanut butter, and a protein shake. Great, healthy breakfast. But your blood sugar is super, super, super steady, which is it's not an issue, not a problem. But in our workout, you may feel really heavy because digestion has slowed down. You have given yourself a lot of fat. So this is just learning your body and how you can tailor your nutrition to meet your individualized goals. This looks different for everybody. I'm just giving very basic examples of what I see with my clients and how I see it holding them back when they really don't understand what's going on. So lastly, I just want to touch on some basic breakfasts, because back to the oatmeal, you see all the time on social media, you have these fitness influencers either like all for eat your oatmeal in the morning, don't let anyone take that away from you, or you see stop eating oatmeal in the morning, this is why you're gaining weight, but you really see no reasoning behind it. So let's apply this to what we just spoke about with blood sugar. It's a normal morning. You just want to keep blood sugar steady. You're going to get your workout in after work, but you want your oatmeal. So how can we just make that plain oatmeal in the package? That's mostly carbs. There's really not that much protein or fat or fiber in there. So yeah, you are going to get that really steep blood sugar spike, and maybe 20, 30 minutes later, you're going to be hungry for some snacks, for some more oatmeal, for some sweets. And, you are going to go on that crazy blood sugar roller coaster for the rest of your day, but you enjoy oatmeal. How can we still have that? Well, let's go back to the PHFF. Protein, healthy fat, fiber. We already got our carbs with the oatmeal. So first, protein. Maybe this looks like an egg on the side or 2 eggs. Maybe this looks like some egg whites mixed in the oatmeal or some collagen or a protein shake on the side. All right, took care of our protein. Now we need some healthy fat. Healthy fat's gonna help slow down digestion. It's gonna help keep us fuller for longer, gonna help keep blood sugar steady. Maybe that looks like peanut butter or MCT or coconut oil or a half of avocado. Maybe it is the egg, so you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, you're getting some fat from the yolk and some protein from the whites. And now we're just left with fiber. So what do we do from there? Maybe that looks like some fruit on the side. Maybe you want to add in some inulin. Inulin fiber is great. And now you have a balanced breakfast with the basics of what you still like, but this is going to help keep your blood sugar steady. Same for the bagel. Bagel is not a bad choice. It's a healthy option, but how can we make this keep us full for 3 to 4 hours and make this a balanced breakfast? Because a bagel by itself is not that great of a breakfast. It's a great pre-workout, but you know, to balance our blood sugar and keep us full for a long period of time, or at least 3 to 4 hours, we're gonna need to add some healthy fat and some protein. So maybe that looks like some cream cheese, maybe it looks like some avocado, or maybe a little bit of a grass-fed butter or ghee. Again, maybe some nut butter if you're going for a sweeter bagel, and then some protein. So, you know, my favorite's always the protein shake on the side. Maybe you're making an egg sandwich, lox and cream cheese, ticks the mark. You know, there are so many ways to make these meals balanced and still have those things that you enjoy. And then my favorite, again, a really healthy breakfast that a lot of my clients come to me with, but they're like, I eat this in the morning, it's so healthy, and then an hour later I'm hungry, and then I end up eating the candy that's in the bowl at the front of the office. Like, I get it. I understand. I've been there. And it's just because we don't understand how to support our body, because no one teaches us these things. So the egg white omelet, what is wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it, but how can we amplify this to help us meet our goals? What I would do is I would use some of the full eggs. So maybe that's some yolk, maybe that's adding a little bit of butter or olive oil or something like that. And then let's get in some fiber. So onions, tomatoes, spinach, adding some of that in your omelet. Or again, like I said, having the protein shake on the side, having a smoothie on the side. These are all really balanced. And what if you don't like breakfast food? What if? What happens? It doesn't have to be breakfast. Like I said, your first meal of the day is going to set you up for success. Protein, chicken, tempeh, edamame. Like, you have so many options to create a balanced meal. And it's not about, you know, never eating foods that make your heart happy or that make you emotionally happy. It's about establishing a baseline of healthy habits and balanced habits that can carry you through your life and support your goals, whatever those may be. Feeling better, feeling more energized. Maybe you don't have a goal at all, which is wonderful. I always want my clients to strive for something other than abs or getting this amount of weight on the scale. Shoot for something, you know, number one, attainable, and something that you can sustain for a long period of time. So if you look at these examples, these aren't crazy, like, I'm not having you eat rice cakes and eggs every single day or tilapia and asparagus. Take what you know and what you've learned here today and build something that is sustainable and that allows you to have that flexibility. Because if we're spending 80-90% of the time supporting our metabolism, and then the other 10% we're having that cocktail at our friend's wedding, or having that candy on Halloween, having that pie on Thanksgiving, or having that cake, you know, when you came home from work and it was just a really bad day and you need something. You are not, it's not the end of the world. You know, if you know how your body works and how it responds, that one little thing is not going to mess it up. And that's why I love to focus on blood sugar and keeping our hormones balanced over calories. And that's not to say that a calorie deficit doesn't mean anything, because it definitely does. But if you're eating, I don't know, this is ridiculous, but for the sake of this example, say your resting metabolic rate's 1500 and you're just eating 1500 calories a day in Oreos. You're on a vegan diet now because Oreos are vegan, and you're not getting any nutrients. Yes, you're meeting your calorie needs, but your blood sugar spiked all day long with that. You're having more cravings. You're probably going to end up eating more calories than you need because you feel like you haven't to fulfill yourself. But let's say we had one of these for breakfast, we had a balanced lunch, and then we had a dinner, and then we added some Oreos at the end of the day, or we had some with our lunch. Like, that is going to help you reach your goals a lot faster than you just trying to say, okay, I can only eat this amount of calories a day. I'm going to stick to very low calorie foods, low fat, low carbs, high protein. Let's do it. This is the reason why you're not meeting your goals. You want to focus on nutrients. Nutrients and blood sugar are going to be king in any world, I believe. And I've seen this with my clients. And this just goes to show you, yes, oatmeal by itself, yes, the egg white omelet, yes, the bagel by itself are all lower calorie options than what you see combined over here on the right with the peanut butter, the bagel, the egg whites, the yolk. These are all lower calorie options. These are all higher calorie options, but the higher calorie options, more nutrient dense options, are going to support your metabolism better, and they're going to help you stay fuller longer so that you don't feel the need to binge or snack every 2 hours, spiking that blood sugar even more. So I hope that you can see how this stuff kind of comes full circle, and how balanced and sustainable can look different for everybody. But blood sugar, this happens for everyone, whether you're diabetic or not. This is what happens in your body. This is a science. This is more than just calories. This is more than just, eating healthy, clean foods. It is learning how your body works and how you can add those foods in your life, how you can eat out. I mean, tacos are my favorite blood sugar balancing food. Corn tortillas. You have your fiber, a little bit of carbs. Then you have your protein, chicken, steak, shrimp, fish, whatever you want. Healthy fat, guac, your avocados, maybe that sour cream, a little bit of cheese, and then fiber, veggies, beans. Those are going to be starchy carbs with fiber. There you go, balanced meal. Whoever thought that you eating tacos would be a balanced meal? And you think, when you go out to a Mexican restaurant, you're like, no, I'll just get the grilled chicken. No. You want to balance that blood sugar. Like, another example, and I'll stop here in a minute. Have you ever gone out to dinner and said, no, I'm just going to be good. I'm just side salad with balsamic vinegar, no oil. And then I'll have the grilled chicken, no butter, no oil, please. Just grill it. No, I'm going to skip the steamed vegetables. I'm going to skip them. I just want to stay really super low calorie, high protein. You're looking at everyone else's food, so salivating. You get home, you're like, damn, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. Like, that chicken didn't fill me up. Why? Because protein alone is not going to keep you full for a long period of time. I would have rathered you say, yeah, give me that grilled chicken and let me get some guac on the side, or can you put a little bit of butter on that? And yeah, let's get a side of rice as well too. You don't have to eat it all. Take it home. We've talked about portions. We've talked about building your plate. But is this making sense? The lower calorie option is not always the better option. You want something that is going to sustain you. So instead of going to a restaurant and looking at the calories, dissect the menu and look at the ingredients. Look at what you want, or look at the whole menu and say, where is my protein? Chicken. Cool. I want that. Where is that fat? Oh, they have guac here? Cool. That fits. And then, beans and rice, cool. Fiber and a little bit of starchy carbs, yeah, that works. Hi, can I please build my own meal? People do it. All you have to do is say it polite and say it with a smile, and they're more than happy to kind of create your own meal. You're not getting too picky. They already have all these things separately on the menu. Now, there are places that maybe will tell you to go away, but for the most part, I've never run into the issue where I can't combine 2 meals or take something away. It's like saying, hey, can I have a hamburger with no cheese? Or can I have a hamburger, no onions, no pickle? Like, you're just customizing. So next time you go out, I challenge you to order something that you like. Order something that makes you happy, but make it fit your goals. So think about that. The protein, the healthy fat, the fiber. Find that on the menu and create a meal. And when you do, come back to me either via here, the Facebook, my Instagram, the facility's Instagram, my email, and let me know how it went. I would love to see what you ordered, and I would love to see how you felt, both mentally and physically, after kind of stepping out of that comfort zone and stepping out of that mindset of calories over everything. So I hope that you enjoyed this today. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that this will help you kind of cater your meals to meet your goals. Next week or the week after, I'm not sure which week I want to share it. I have a couple of things. But this month, I'm definitely going to share some tips on how we can go into the holidays without feeling like we're ruining all the progress. And we're going to build on what we talked about today. How can we go into Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever holiday you celebrate during this time of the year and still enjoy without feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to waste my New Year's resolution on a weight loss goal, or oh my gosh, I have so much anxiety, I can't even enjoy these holidays. So I will see you guys next week. I'm very excited to hear from you all what you thought about this lesson and how you're going to apply it in your own life. We'll be back next week with some holiday tips. Enjoy your Monday, and I will see you again next Monday. Alrighty, guys.